Good morning, YouTube. I'm going to redo this video because camera issues. Anyways, long story short, it finally broke. I broke this tractor and had to get a part. And everybody's all fretting about the parts issues with these TYMs. I'm going to give you my story and what happened. Also give you the rundown on the time it took to get the part, and we'll put this part back on together. So I finally broke a pretty good part on this tractor. However, had nothing to do with me operating the tractor. I broke this guy. If you don't know, this is supposed to be straight. It's also supposed to be on the back of the tractor, but boop, it broke. As you can see, it broke right in the middle of that hole, which makes 100% logical sense due to physics. That is the thinnest part of where the steel is. It bent, that far, and finally let loose and broke. I'll explain what happened here in a little bit, but before we get there, I'm going to avoid this mud. It's slick. Give you some part numbers. So, part number. Here is the new part. I got it from my dealer. There's the part number. So this part was not under warranty. I did not ask for a warranty. This was 100% idiot operator error on my part, and things happen. So I bought that with my money. I also bought another one of these pins. I suggest not losing these pins. They are made for this tractor. I'll show you here in a second. But I had misplaced one, and anyways, I had got another one, and here's the part number for that. Okay, take that number down if you need it. This is what we're replacing right here. Okay, as we can tell, this is straight. It goes into this black sleeve here, and you choose whatever pin you want in there, or pinhole adjustment. Take it out, hook up your 3-point. We've seen that before, right? There's the one, excuse me, I replaced, or I'm going to put this new one into. So we'll do this relatively quickly. Wait, one. So as I was putting this part in here, I noticed something. Physics happened here too. So this had gotten spun down. That's supposed to be horizontal with the ground, similar to this one, but as you can see here, it is not. So I'm going to take a crescent wrench, undo that nut right here. Got that little mini sledge there for American persuasion if I need to. We're going to loosen this, get this in there, put that pin in there, and then we'll get back to you. Wait one again. All right, so we got everything back together here. Took me about less than 2 minutes, obviously. Put this in here, matched it up with this one on this side. I'll make fine adjustments. Put the new pin in. So I got one of these pins just from my local hardware store around. And as you can tell, I mean, it's seen some use, and it's slightly got a jig to it right there. It's just not the best option, but it got me by. Kind of just farmerized it. So what happened was I was pulling my RV through the narrows right here, and I'll just say I'll go show you the RV here in a second, but I was trying to make the right hand turn right there, and I have a 42-foot RV I was pulling through there to get it on this side of the house, and the tractor is parked right here with an implement on there, and when I started making that right hand turn, it the tail whip of the trailer caught the little ABR, or anyways, the implement I had on the back of my tractor here, and it just torqued it enough that it just popped that point right there. I looked around. I didn't see anything else bent on here, like the little arms right there for the 3-point deal. This arm didn't look bent. Nothing else looked bent, because that would be a lot more in depth and a lot bigger of an issue. So I got away lucky breaking the weak point right here, which, I mean, you look at this, physics will tell you this is a lot weaker than this, or even one of these, right? So let's go try and explain to you exactly what happened. All right, here's the visual representation, 100% to scale and everything, but this is a chicken coop silo. This is my green red tractor here, and this is my setup basically, right? So I have a 42-foot fifth wheel RV. Now, one thing to notice here, because this is 100% to scale, it's not. These two axles on the RV are much higher or further forward. If they were like this and this far back, I would not have had this issue, but I had them right here. This is where my axles are on my trailer. There's a lot of tail between the trailer and this back axle. So when this truck started coming around, and yet, as you can tell, my son broke his toys, that tail whip came right here. And because I had an implement on this tractor, this corner caught that, and I think it was just off the ground, that implement was, caught that implement and snapped that bar right there due to this situation right here. So, mind your tail whip, people. I had plenty of space between here and here. I knew I could make this turn. However, I did not account for the tail whip. I'm going to show you what happened to the trailer. So this is my RV here. We are trying to do some work on it. Oh shoot, it's on the other side. So as you can tell, look at the how far the axle is right there to here. I don't have tape on me, but it's about 12 feet. So bikes, 1 second. This is where it caught. It scratched it a little bit right there. I mean, it's not damage to this thing. I'm shocked it's not more, honestly, but I missed it by a foot, less than a foot. I'll call it a foot. And it just caught right here. And, you got 41 more feet of leverage to this point right here, connected to a 500 horsepower Cummins. Yeah, I mean, granted, I was going about 3/4 of a mile an hour, but still, it was plenty. I didn't even feel it until I heard it. So that's what happened. All right, so let's go over the cost that I paid out of pocket and timeline. Cost. This was like $47, which I thought was reasonable for a dealership price. I did look around to see if I can find a third-party deal here local. Just wasn't coming out very good, so I just said screw it, I'm getting a factory deal. $47, and honestly I was expecting like 150. So if it was 150, I would have gone third party, 10 times harder. But for 47 bucks, I'm like, yep, just order it. However, this little guy, I said, don't lose these little guys. This was $21 or $27. I'm like, for a pin? And I don't know what's special in Korea about these things, but don't lose these. I won't be buying any more of these at that price. That was a little bit of sticker shock for me. And yeah, I'll find another pin system for that, or farm rig one up or something. I'm not doing that again. But so I paid for all that up front. Then I had the lady order it. So I ordered it on a Thursday. By Wednesday, she called, or Thursday of one week, Less than a week later, the lady called me, said it's in the shop. And I went in there Thursday morning, the next Thursday morning, and picked it up. However, I did have to pay another $24 in freight costs. So that is what it is there. But I, for whatever it costs, you know, it was like 80 something dollars. I think it was 47, 21-ish, something like that, plus a 24, you know, it adds up. That's what it was for me. Now, the timeline of the part, like I said, I ordered on a Thursday, 1 week. So we had Thursday place the order, Friday. They're not going to do anything Saturday or Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they called and had it. And Friday, or Thursday, I picked it up. So this months and months and months of waiting for parts did not apply for me. However, it's not a huge mechanical part. It's not a engine or part of the engine. So that's my experience. And I live in little, you know, my dealer's in Little Nowhere, Idaho, with a town of about 150 people. So, just wanted to give you guys a heads up and go over my parts, you know, non-fiasco, non-nightmare situation for TYM through TYM and a TYM dealer. And hopefully this helps somebody out. If you need the part numbers, please pause the video and take those numbers down. I have a feeling these parts do break more than most because it's a high wear part. If you're pulling anything with the 3-point, those are going to be subject to needing parts. I'll try and get the parts also in the description below. Appreciate y'all. I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I'm trying to get those numbers up. Sorry, it's been kind of sporadic. I'm kind of working 2 jobs now, so we're gonna do this. Spring's coming. It is January 28th, I think, late January, and it's cold. So I got some rock stuff I gotta do still here. I gotta move a bunch of that, which is still here. They still don't have the gutters on the house. So anyways, rambling. God bless y'all. Like and subscribe if you can. Love y'all, and Christ loves you too. Take care.